I think I'm first. Hi, everyone. My name's Satan, or Alessa Vamp on the interwebs, and tonight I'll be playing Yuiza, our wood elf, rogue?
Big question mark. Hi, I'm Zachary Vaudo, and I am playing Arat Kshizhin, your Damphir Wild Oracle.
Yeah, I'm Abby, the birthday girl, and I'm playing our Huling Cleric of Keening, Fisscourth, and our moms picked out our pronouns, so she, her.
What's up, gamers? It's RJ here for the Power 3 hours. I'll be playing Sulong Shen. We both go by he, him. I don't know why I went with this voice.
It's fun. It's cute. It's like a little radio announcer. I just want you to just, pop out of my headset and say boo. Hey, everybody.
Oh, no.
My name's Sara Roberts. I use any pronouns, and I will be your GM for this evening. Now, last week, you all wrapped up your exploration, for the most part, of this area below the mansion. You discovered some things about Zasfel. Maybe, formed a little bit more of a different opinion about him in some respects. But you got a bigger picture of the story of what he was going through and what he was trying to accomplish in bringing you all to the mansion. Now, you also encountered a few things that might have tried to kill you. I don't know. That book might have just wanted to make a friend with Yuiza. But you all made quick work of it. And now you are all standing in the alchemy lab, having recently completed a puzzle together. And that puzzle turned out to be the key to open the door, where a person lies seemingly unconscious behind a locked gate. What are y'all doing?
So...
Well...
go ahead, Arat.
No, I think we were probably about to say the same thing. We seem to have a key, finally.
Yeah, releasing the person that they have trapped here, that's a bad, right?
That's what I said.
Just confirming that entire situation is unequivocally bad idea.
Okay, true. Why don't we first look this book, The Keys of Bushaba. Maybe it'll tell us here if it's related to her, or if we're undoing one of those keys and releasing a horrible evil onto the world if we go get her.
Quite true, and to be a fiend's advocate, as it were, I do think whoever this person may be, they may have valuable insight. I think it might be worth at least interrogating them, even setting them free. I think they're allowed to commit a little bit of a white lie, as it were.
For me personally, I am wondering if somebody was down here trying to go and release her, and that is where the murder upstairs took place, to distract people. So I would personally like to head back that way to see if we could potentially wrap up two things at once.
Well, can I look into this book before we keep walking that way?
Probably be wise, yes.
Okay. I would like to open this book, GM, and look through it. And what does it tell me?
All right. You look through the book. It's old and weathered with age, but there are some things that you glean from it. You see these passages written by one of Zasfel's ancestors. And the first one reads, "The keys of the Avatar were created by Bushaba long ago, in a time forgotten by those who did not live it. In order to ascend her most loyal subjects to the avatars of doom and chaos, she created a band of 5 amulets. Although not all her avatars survived, generations of worshippers have taken on the post until the Age of Peace. The avatars would shed their given names to take on the mantle of the avatar. The flame, the blade, the crown, and the stag."
The blade, the crown, and the stag. She's reading this out loud. Oh, well, the stag is what's to Bushaba.
Oh.
Flame.
Will the other 3 potentially be for gods as well?
Am I understanding that all these keys are for Bushaba or for different gods?
These are all her avatars.
I mean, so these are all her avatars. I don't think it involves the other gods.
So one is a bit closer to her than the others then.
Yes.
It is that certainly complicates what we are dealing with, potentially. Now we're looking at avatars of deities.
Well, it did mention about something, just not being able to get rid of someone without destroying the stag. So I'm going to assume that the person who's locked in here is the avatar of Bushaba, the stag version.
Or is at least connected to her, yes.
Yes.
And I am a scholar, a learned scholar, admittedly in many terrible things, and I think there are things to be gleaned from this potential avatar, Bushaba. I think we should ask her questions, not let her go, but just, a carrot dangled in front of a mule. I think that might move us forward, maybe even figure out who's been killing who.
Possibly, yeah. We're also discussing being face to face with an avatar of a god or possibly someone related to them. And listen, I believe in us so much. But
we are not attempting to engage in combat with it. We are going to go investigate.
There is the small concern that they just open up on us and obliterate us instantly. But you know what? I'm not the brightest crayon in the shed, so.
At the very least, we can confirm some details or not. We've already beaten a demon. Surely we can deal with the weakened, imprisoned version of a god. If even that.
1/4 of a god.
what might help?
What?
You could tell me this is a horrible plan, but if we do go talk to them, she's gonna take out like a cloak from her bag, put it on so like it covers most of her, and then she's just gonna change into Zazavel.
That could be very useful. I'm hearing the bones. I'm assuming like hearing the bones creaking, and then I just immediately just go feel what I'm feeling for.
I think I got the bright shiny teeth just right.
I am, and I am disturbed. Truly, just please don't smile like that until we have to deal with it.
Wait, hold on. Sulon goes into his pocket, just asks Yuiza to go real quick. And just sticks a whitening strip along the teeth. There you go.
Maybe they'll be more forthcoming with Zazavel.
Maybe they'll be shocked that their murder victim has sprung to life.
Exactly. I actually don't remember how Zazavel talks, so I'm assuming that's close enough.
He's a little pompous in his delivery.
Okay. What's a pompous?
Pompous. It's a manner of speaking. It's sounding like you are above other people.
I am so excited to have you guys as my guest of honors in my lovely, lovely estate. Does that work?
We can work with this.
I only met him twice, so, you know.
It's fair.
Twice was enough, I believe, and if anything, she should probably not be paying too close attention to you. Who wants to, anyway? Speak ill of the dead, of course. I am a cleric.
I feel uncomfortable being like this, so can we go there now? I do not like this.
Unless there's anything else in this laboratory that we should take with us. Just gesturing to the room behind me.
All right. Maybe I should do less of the talking. I mean, I am clearly someone that has money and has hired people to do the dirty work for me.
Makes sense to me.
Certainly.
Bright smile.
Yuiza, you are terrifying me. Let's hurry along.
BTW, the statue of Tyr across the way can turn. If you do turn it, I suspect that the invisible bridge that's flooring the bottomless gap will disappear.
So we should wait to turn it.
Yeah. If they decide to go ginormous meat flesh entity and Sulong starts wobbling around, just lure it over and we'll dump it into the bottomless pit.
Nothing like a bottomless pit to make sure you're safe.
Honestly, that's the most useful thing in town right now. A lot of things you could throw away in a bottomless pit.
Like your enemies.
Or a god.
I didn't say it. Sulong starts walking away.
Since Sulong's in front of me, I'll just follow the footsteps.
You arrive back in the room where you started your judgment with the mirrors and the chest. And you stand in front of a locked door. It's intricately carved, and in the center there is a recess that would perfectly fit the starburst shape that the box is opened up into.
Well,
Go ahead. Why would I open my own door?
Okay. Sulong just yoinks the key and sticks it in, turns it.
You stick it into the lock and you watch as light bursts forth from the center of the door, tracing the carvings along it, and you hear the mechanisms inside click and whirl and pull apart from one another. And eventually, you hear a final click.
Cool.
Terrifying.
Oh, that looks fun.
it certainly doesn't bode well that this potential avatar was kept behind such an intricate lock.
Guarded by a
But I
demon,
said-
no less.
Guys, you might want to take a look at this.
Describe it to me.
It is numerous jail cells, drenched in cobwebs, one with bone, and I think those are crystals.
There is a decrepit jail that opens up in front of you with 3 cells. Off to one side, there is a cell heavy with cobwebs and bones of its former inhabitant. There are smaller cages within a large one. Towards the door that was collapsed by the rock rubble that you were unable to get by. And off to the side, there is a table glowing with arcane runes.
Rune work tends to be delicate. Best leave them untouched until we figure out this entire situation.
God, I want Sulong to be like, what's that? Holding up something from the table.
But as you walk through the room, you head towards the final cell. And you see a woman laying there, seemingly unconscious on her back. She looks peaceful in her green and red robes. Maybe early 20s. Definitely human looking for the moment.
Is there any sign of anybody else in here?
I can check. Is anyone else in here?
Your voice echoes off the stone walls.
Stealthy as I hoped you would be.
That's me, Mr. Stealth.
Has she stored it all from our lovely barbarian's most subtle vocals?
Druid barbarian.
No, she has not yet awoken.
I might, I think it's also a possibility that if whoever did all this does know we are, in fact, down here, we might have just opened the door for them and they might have, planned for that. Just a
Well,
thought.
then we will have to keep alert of anybody coming through this door while we're in here.
I'm going to go stand over by the door and make sure no one gets in.
I'm going to look at these runes.
Oh, just as I.
All right. You can both roll Arcana, or one person can roll with advantage.
You roll with advantage. I'm going to be your little study buddy here.
Is that 13?
13?
Yeah.
You're not sure what these are.
I do not know what these are, actually.
I'm going to be entirely honest with you. I didn't learn how to read most wizard symbols. I'm practically illiterate when it comes to that particular study. You know, we probably should have brought a wizard from the wardens a lot with us. We come across a lot of arcane.
Well, I can at least draw the symbols in my notebook and show it to them later, of course.
Yes, our own art is very good. Probably safer than interacting with them
white
anyways.
smile.
Please don't do that. I always thought you were Yuiza again for a second.
No, I am not. She's gonna, as she's gonna take out her journal, just write down the symbols.
Sarah, can I roll Arcana? Because I think it'd be really funny.
You just come over as we're both looking.
You won't you won't get advantage, but you can do a straight roll.
17.
17. You look at the symbols, and they appear to be transcription symbols. This is a spot that someone would use to duplicate writings.
Oh. The bookmakers have these sort of tables back home.
Bookmakers? Or have we stumbled into a printing press?
Unknown. It's basically a type of transcription magic. You write on one book and it appears on the other, more or less.
Fascinating.
Fisscourth, roll me a history check.
Ooh, I love rolling history. A 10.
10. Luckily that meets. This is something that jogs your memory about home. Occasionally, when travelers were scarce, there were people in your colony whose job it was to find more food. And sometimes that involved interrogating those who were held to become your next meal. They would use something like this to duplicate the pages of their notes. Writing things in triplicate is a pain, after all. Very inefficient.
Especially with these little knobs. Truly, you have to dip your claw into ink so many times at home. Oh, I do. Sorry, my apologies, Sulong. That just reminded me of home.
I'm so sorry.
It's quite all right. We've just tended to use these sorts of things in interrogations when finding our next meal, so to speak. Easier to have the paper stored somewhere else, just in case.
Now, was there like a special magical process you had to do, or is it like I write on one thing and it appears on another?
DM?
This wasn't something that Fisscourth took part in. So you would have to roll Arcana again, Fisscourth, to see if you could figure out how to do this.
Oh boy. Let's see how this goes.
Can I help somehow?
Nope.
Okay, I have no idea what just happened.
That's a 16. That's great. That's
16?
wonderful. With my -1 to intelligence.
You wandered into one of these rooms one time and you saw someone setting up. You remember seeing the parchments laid out in triplicate on the desk, and that there was a special writing utensil that was used with the first one to activate the runes on the underneath the second and third page to create the ink transfer. But as you look around, you don't see the item that would be needed here.
Well, typically they have there's a quill or something whatnot, usually an enchanted pen cap that would take the paper to transfer it to the other parchment you had intended for it, but it doesn't seem like the key is here, so to speak. So whoever was making use of these is no longer here or took it with them, which, if they wanted to keep it secret, you would do.
While everybody is looking over the table, I am up against the cell, and I'm trying to listen in, to the person that's in the cell to see if I can pick up on anything like sounds of them stirring awake or anything strange. I'm just listening for any sounds that aren't the three people that I'm familiar with in here.
Roll me perception.
It's a 20 total off of a 15.
Fantastic. You hear the slow and gentle breathing of the person in the cell. They don't appear to be stirring, and there doesn't appear to be an increase in heart rate. You don't think that they're faking it. You also hear the hum of magic directly in front of you.
Sensing an idea of what it is, I'm going to extend the tip of my walking stick forward until it taps the cage, or the cell, rather.
As you tap the cell, there is a sharp zap that hits your cane. And the rest of you turn and see a flash of light as arcane magic goes off. It would appear that this cell is warded.
That's what I thought.
What was that?
Intruder alarm, or rather intruder deterrent. It looks like it takes more than simply a key to a front door to access this woman.
Great.
Which is good for if anybody else was actually down here trying to get to her.
And as you say that, there is a slight shift from within the cell. And you hear, "Did you come to ask more questions?" As the person within slowly sits up, rubbing their eyes, backing themselves up against the back wall.
We did. I do not believe we have met, but we have come with I'm sure, a familiar face.
Hello.
Gesturing over to.
And the rest of you watch as she eyes Zasaphel warily.
We do have a few questions, if you don't mind. No, I'll let you get back to your rest.
It's not like I can go anywhere else.
Do you want to?
I want to go home.
What brought you here, then? We were not privy to this information, and we were given carte blanche to ask you what we will.
Someone brought me here. I don't remember who.
A long time ago?
It feels like forever. I don't know if it's day or night. It's hard to tell.
Of course, I imagine. Do you know why you were brought here?
No.
Can I do an
Please.
insight check on that?
Please let me go home. I just want to go home to my family, please. Yeah, go ahead and roll insight.
That's a 7.
Seems like a scared woman in a cell.
Honestly, while I'm talking, I should be rolling insight because it's my expertise.
If you want, you can.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's got a +9 on it, so 26.
26.
So I'm just listening to breathing, heart rate, etc., tone of voice.
It's difficult to tell, but their heart rate does quicken. It's hard to tell if they're just scared or if they're lying to you.
Does anybody else know that you're here?
I don't think so.
Nobody in particular that would be especially keen on finding you and getting you out?
He's the only one who ever comes and sees me. And the rest of you watch as she points to Zasaphel.
Oh. I see. My friend, would you mind going out and sending Yuiza in, please? Perhaps a change of faces will be kinder. I say to Yuiza disguised as Asafel.
Okay, I was about to say, sure, I'll go get her. Wait, no.
But of course. Just a slow, rich walk out.
Fisscourth and Sulong, as Yuiza leaves, you watch, and this woman's eyes do not leave Zasafel until he is out of the room.
No, my dear, I understand that. It seems like you have a bit of an unfortunate association with our employer, and I lean in sort of conspiratorially. I'm playing a good cop here. I've read enough of those books to know what that is. Is there a home you want to go to? Is there some place in particular?
My home.
Your home. I'm afraid we all have one of those, my dear. But could you specify the Feywilds, perhaps? A plane of oblivion?
What? I'm not from another plane. What? I don't understand.
All right.
My other associate is here. Maybe she tends to be far better at asking questions, but you're from around here. We'll figure it out. We're all just here to have our questions answered.
Yes. Yuiza, this is... I apologize. I did not ask your name. That's rude of me.
Lily?
Lily. Yuiza, this is Lily.
Hello. Why are you down here?
They brought me here.
They?
The one who left, and someone else. Or maybe it was someone. I don't remember.
Why ever would Zasafel want you brought down here? But what purpose would he have to imprison you? It's terribly cruel.
Roll insight. Whoever wants to.
21.
16.
Arat, you hear something waver in their voice. And Sulong, as you watch this person, as they're asked questions, it's almost as if something moves behind their eyes.
That's not all there is to it, though, is there?
What?
There's more than that. Surely you must have been told why you were being brought down here. A man does not come in daily, however long, without saying a single word to you, especially if you are that familiar with him. There must be a purpose.
One day I was at home, and the next I was here.
Where is your home? What town?
Soskarme. We have a little house on the coast.
It's been quite some time, but I remember the smell of the water. So just like that, you crossed the entire continent without realizing it.
Yes. Where am I? They won't tell me.
Safe, from what I can tell. Certainly nobody can do you harm in here.
And I can guarantee that you're among friends at the very least. We don't mean you any harm.
No one who's ever talked to me here is a friend.
That's all to be expected. You have been put under prison, after all, very, very deep underground. But we are not the people who imprisoned you. We're, I suppose we can part with a little kernel of truth for you. We're investigating a murder of a certain person. We're trying to figure it out, and you seem to be someone who's been here for a while. Maybe you can tell us what you've seen.
Every once in a while, Zasafel comes in and asks me questions.
May I ask, what kind of questions does he ask you?
History questions, they don't make sense. Keeps asking me about some temple.
Which one?
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be in the desert, but I've never crossed the mountains. They're too big. I don't.
He's usually asking you about this temple when he comes and talks to you.
Yeah.
And only him. No one else has come but him.
There was someone a long time ago, I think. They looked like him, but older. And then it was just him.
Was the older one the other one that brought you here? Was it somebody else?
Maybe.
DM, do I have to continue an insight check to see how this is going?
If you'd like to roll that one, yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna roll 2.
27.
21.
As you all continue to probe, Arat and Sulong, you notice that almost without her noticing, her hands begin moving. And almost as if she's not even aware of it, they are drawing the antlers of a stag in the dust beside her.
Did they ask you any questions about a stag, a giant deer, that sort of thing?
Sometimes I told him I didn't like hunting.
Excuse us for a moment. And he'll pull the crowd away real quick. Out of earshot of Lily, hushed whisper. She might not be aware.
That's what I'm
It's
getting.
possible.
Zasafel and whatever his family may be attempting, maybe thinking this is some form of protection and they're keeping the girl locked away from the rest of the world and also trying to exploit her at the same time.
I mean,
I'm starting to think... Go ahead, sorry. I'm starting to think that maybe freeing her is not so bad an idea.
The thing is that if she's not even aware, then if they're an avatar, that doesn't mean... I mean, whoever they're an avatar for only needs their body, right? Not the person inside it.
There is something more to her beyond what we are being presented with, though. What, I cannot say.
Yeah, I get that too. I'm just worried that what if her being in the prison is somehow suppressing the knowledge of being an avatar somehow? There are memory erasure magics.
They are. She could also just be lying to us.
Well, regardless, we are certainly not going to be the ones to open a warded cell, so we will have to tell Zasafel's sister of what is down here.
All that family secrets.
I think we should tell the wardens first.
I agree. Zasafel wanted to keep his family out of this for some reason, having to do bloodlines or whatnot. I mean, that's why he supposedly abandoned his child out of wedlock. But I think the wardens are the best case here. But we will have to give the crowd upstairs an answer as to what we've discovered.
Yes.
Just tell them it's a temple to Tyr and Timora.
We could also tell them a little bit of a white lie, I think. Keep them off our backs for a bit. Just say we found a raving madman down here. We put him to justice.
None of this gives us an answer for what's been happening upstairs, though.
It doesn't. I was hoping that we might find some clue of a person trying to make their way down here, but instead we have uncovered secret after secret.
Right. As much as I would like to have this all cleaned up, I think we're in far above our heads. We're drowning and the hoolings are pulling us down.
I can wait down here until y'all tell the wardens what's up. Don't want anybody sneaking in and letting her out, right?
Right.
We really shouldn't split up, though.
What other options do we have?
Well, we have the only key into here.
Are you all right with us locking the door behind us so long?
Oh, I meant taking so long with us and locking the door, but either way.
I've been in worse scrapes.
If we're going to split up, at least let's do it in pairs. I'll stay with you so long.
All right.
Well, Arat, you cannot fly, but I am happy to carry you and fly us to the wardens.
Oh, Nismat and someone else. Was it Gowan? No. We informed Nismat and one other person that we needed help, and they were coming with a cart.
That's true, actually,
Arabelle said that she would call Nismat and Pascal.
Pascal.
Nice, we do have wardens on the way.
Nismat and Pascal should be on their way with a cart.
All right, well, then we will have wardens at least.
Could you guys not tell other people about my little...
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I haven't seen a thing.
Thank you.
Your words are golden, my dear, as is whatever you do with your bones. Silence.
Okay, thank you.
Time to toddle upstairs.
I will follow.
Okay. You're all heading back upstairs?
Well, two of us are.
Okay.
Tulong and Yuiza are gonna just sit there and guard.
Sounds good. All right, Fisscourth and Arat, you head back upstairs and you enter into the kitchen. Are you heading straight back?
No. Just pausing here, I don't understand how we could find no evidence anywhere of this killer.
Neither do I, honestly. It's just too tied up with this whole house and whatever secrets this family has been keeping. I insist that we're above our heads. We have to bring the other wardens into this mess.
Agreed. If there is any chance of one of the people that is in that room having done it, maybe something will stir if we mention that we found something downstairs. But apart from that, not even finding footprints outside.
It's far too mysterious for my liking, and it reeks of magic. As I said, we'll have to rely on the other warden's assessment. More eyes on it can only mean the better, right? Professional eyes. No offense,
Agreed.
of course, Arat.
None taken. Well, then let's go tell them what we found, and I will listen for any changes in demeanor.
We'll keep eyes on faces.
Okay. You both head back down. As you come down, you see Arabelle out in the hallway talking to Pascal and Nismat.
Okay, actually, well, we'll probably head over to them first then.
As you approach, she is there informing them of what has been going on. And as you arrive, oh gosh, thank you. I don't think I'm explaining everything right, but I think I got the gist of it. Where's Tulong and Yuiza? Are they okay?
They are still looking further into something downstairs. That which at least one of you two may be able to assist them with.
Downstairs? There's a basement?
Yes. There is a basement, yes, which we were about to tell the others in there.
Family rights to information and all that.
If one of you wants to stay with us, you may. If you both want to go down, that's also perfectly fine. But I'm actually gonna describe the quick path to Sulong and Yuiza, to these two, like to Pascal and Nismat.
Pascal and Nismat give you both a nod and just, all right. I guess we'll look into it. There's not like any booby traps or anything, is there? Nismat
Not
asks
anymore.
you both.
Not anymore.
We handled those, no worry. It was only mildly painful.
Of
Yes,
course
the
you
other
did.
two will
That's
have
why you're
more,
one of the wardens. And Pascal puts up a hand for a high five.
This flinches back. Clearly he's gonna hit her.
It's a high five. You're supposed to see. It's like this.
I don't
out here. Help. And like you see them both like clap hands in the air.
I don't have 5, but I can try.
All right, let's go a little bit.
She'll just like gingerly put her nub up against his hand.
Hell yeah, your first high five. Good job.
Yes. There's a murder to solve. I got a high five. Yeah.
Another first for Fisscourth. Okay, yeah. So they will head down there. Arabelle looks at the two of you. Allison's been kind of beside herself since you all left. I think she's having a rough go of it, so just approach with caution, I guess.
Stages of grief. I understand this completely. I've seen all 5 of them, sometimes very quickly. Don't worry, I can handle this.
Okay.
I'll just gingerly, open the door and that dad kind of be like, hey, champ, but Ellison, my dear, hello? This is Fisscourth.
You walk in and Ellison is staring out one of the windows next to the fireplace. She hears you almost as an afterthought and turns around, her eyes not really focusing on you. Did you find anything?
We found quite a bit, actually. Things that I feel as if you're entitled to. Your brother, he did some very noble things, but in name of protecting you, Arat, I think you might have the better mouth for this.
Yes, your brother apparently is more than simply the mayor of the town. He was in service to Tyr, and we found in our search for this murderer, we followed what we thought was a trail into the basement, into a temple. It seems a temple dedicated to Tyr.
What? No, there's just the cellar and the wine storage. Where would he put a whole temple?
Further below, it seems.
A little hidden place in the basement. Quite ingenious, if I do say so myself.
Seems it was tasked to him, and so he took the task to heart. And while I'm saying this, I'm trying to listen to see if anybody gets nervous or excited at the mention of down there. But I'm still trying to figure out if this murder is at all connected to down there. And if anybody's in the room or hiding in the room. It's a nat 20 for a 29.
Ellison seems genuinely confused, as do the servants in the room. They seem perplexed as they murmur to one another about this space that none of them have heard of before. And you hear Arabelle's heart quicken as she leans into Fisscourth. Please tell me there were some interesting artifacts down there. Like, what kind of temple was it? Like, was it like decrepit? Was it old? Like, do you think I could go down there later and take some notes for my journals?
You might just be the mind we needed there. There was some ruins, ones I'd only seen back in the chapel cacophony. Also, this painting with a being that came out of it. I'm very sorry for your loss. Yes. Don't you agree? Arabelle should go down there, have a studied mind, look at everything.
We might be able to. Yes. Yes, I think so. I'll turn back to Allison and the others and say, if you'll continue to rest here, we have the other wardens investigating downstairs to make sure that everything is safe and secure.
Rest assured, your family's safety is our number one priority. We wish to uphold your brother's wishes. And they were
If this individual is down there, then we are going to find them. It seems that there's not many places they could have gone besides.
Right. Okay, I guess we'll lock the door behind you. Again.
If you wouldn't mind, take your moment. Once we are finished down there, we will help resolve things up here.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I'll turn back to Fisscourth and Arabelle. Shall we?
Yes. Where do we go?
Back down the hall.
Okay,
Yes, back down the hallway.
Right, lead the way. And as you start walking, Arabelle actually pulls a small notebook out of her dress pocket. It's well worn. She has a small pencil that sits in a little loop off to the side of it, and she starts asking you both questions. So how exactly did you find it? Like, was there a mechanical component to getting down there, or was it mostly just you fell through the floor? One time I accidentally fell through a temple floor into a temple crypt, landed right in a sarcophagus. It was alarming, but we found some really interesting artifacts down there. They all ended up at the school that I worked for, and the students are still studying them. We don't totally know what they do, but I think that one of them might have to do something with transmutation magic, but then it just kind of started phasing in and out of existence, so they're still working on it.
You're very excited about all of this, while we are still looking for a murderer.
I mean, it's sad, but it's also kind of exciting.
She's quite right. Any chance to grasp at this kind of knowledge is a chance we must
take. For so long, kind of, I don't know. Feels nice to be useful again.
No, that's very fair. Zasafel, obviously had to keep the secret, but never mentioned it or never let any hint drop about more to this location?
No. I offered to stay over a few times, but he never took me up on it.
I see. Very well. And yeah, I'll continue to walk with them all the way back down, I guess.
Okay. And she will walk back down with you. She takes a lot of notes on the structure as you all move down and asks you questions about what exactly you experienced here. And she is notating everything that you discussed with her. While you are gathering Arabelle, let's head back over to Sulong and Yuiza. While you two are downstairs, your friends have just left. What are you doing?
Looking to talk to Lily a little bit more.
All right.
Do you remember what your life was like before all this, Lily?
We own a bakery. I was in charge of making the bread. Mom made the pastries, and Dad handled the front of house with sales.
Sounds quite nice. Did you experience strange stuff before all this happened?
Not really. Strange how?
Did you...
I used to get really bad acne. Does that count?
Oh no, I did too.
Yeah.
That's not strange.
I think that's more common than most people think, really. Just anything you felt different or any strange happenings going on around you?
There was a carnival that came to town. That was different.
Go to the carnival?
I did.
What was your favorite part?
There was a unicorn in the petting zoo. Seemed really nice.
It does seem quite exciting. I'm really sorry that you're down here, and we're gonna do our best to see how we can help you. I know. They points to the door, assuming Sazafel can be a bit, not the greatest.
Are you feeling hungry, thirsty right now?
I could go for something to eat.
I think I have some. It's not the best thing, but I do have some granola and some bread. I don't know if I'll be able to pass it to you through this thing, but she's gonna try and make like a little bundle and just kind of slide it if possible.
You can definitely try. Make me a dexterity dex check to see if you can pass it without hitting the bars.
14, so 19.
19. You are able to pass it through the bars to Lily, and she takes it and eats it hurriedly.
You shouldn't eat so quickly. If you haven't eaten in a while, the sudden shock to the system might actually hurt you more than help. So take your time. Chew proper.
Okay.
Did you ever experience bouts where your own body just did things without you noticing? Or you moved? Or maybe sleepwalking?
I don't think so.
Alright.
I sleep a lot here, but I think that's just because it's normally dark.
Yeah, I always get super sleepy when things get dark.
Sulong will pop a squat, sit crisscross applesauce in front of the jail and just have the axe resting on his shoulder. What was your favorite bread?
Sourdough.
That's a good one.
Get this with some fresh butter. Oh, so good. You really have no idea why you're down here.
My money was on cult for a while. My mom used to tell me stories, but no one ever seemed to want anything but to ask me questions, so maybe I did something wrong.
I don't think that's the case. I'm gonna roll insight check.
Okay.
15.
She seems genuine. Yeah, doesn't know why she's here.
We'll find out the answers. And if can, we'll get you somewhere safer, nicer, so we can figure out what's going on. Is that okay with you?
I just go home.
Soon.
That is the goal, I promise.
Okay. And as you say this, through the door, I'm not going to take them all the way around the map, walk in Nismat and Pascal.
Oh. Hey.
Hey, what is... wow, this is...
Yeah, Sulong just hops up and kind of ushers Yuiza towards Nismat and Pascal and then ushers them away from Lily.
Yeah, oh, okay, where, what...
Just around the corner. Hello.
Oh,
hey, you dropped this, by the way. And he hands the axe to Nismat.
Thank you.
So...
You didn't get it from me.
Well, maybe you might want to hold on to that and not use it. Because it might might be a murder. It's actually a murder weapon in this case. So
I'm sorry. You what? I don't. What?
It was used to kill Cleaver.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's behind the bits of paint is evidence.
Yeah.
Thanks for the paperwork, I guess. And she holds
Honestly, I
the
wasn't gonna.
axe in her hands, looking it over.
As you can see, there's a lot happening.
But we cast exposition to save on time.
Mhm.
Okay.
Cast power word exposition. And then we found her. And I don't think she really knows why she's down here. I thought it had, because you know, the avatar and stuff.
She kind of gives me the vibe that there's something more, though.
Yeah.
so-
I mean, could be.
And they both look at each other and then back to you, and I mean, we could take her back to the Warden's guild house, I guess. I don't know. I feel really weird about knowing there's a woman in a cage down here and not
Oh, for
getting
sure.
her out.
No,
No.
there's a force
Yeah.
field around her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's extra gnarly.
Yeah, I mean, I can try and lockpick the door.
But we're kind of not
Ah.
equipped to deal with the force field.
Yeah.
I mean, I could like hold onto it and hope that it shocks me instead of Yuiza because it's too busy shocking me.
No,
Right,
that's
did
not how
you
it works.
Look to see if it even needs to be picked. Like, is there like a command word?
We're not magicians.
Can I study the door?
You can. As you go over to study the door, we'll say that this is where the rest of the party plus Arabelle come in. And you all hear Arabelle asking a million questions a second of Fisscourth and Arat as they are walking in the door.
I'll field your questions so that Arat and Fisscourth can have some screen time.
I'm telling you, that artifact turned into a pickle. The funniest thing I've ever seen.
Pickle? Really?
Yes. What happened to Ricard after that? We have no idea, but it was hilarious the time. He was meant to be feeding stock, but that was the old days.
Turned into a pickle. And she starts taking more notes and, oh, hi. Oh.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on down here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you said what it was on the way down here, but it still did not mentally prepare me for this.
And we were quite shocked as well.
Yes. And obviously, we cannot get into the cell due to the warding on said cell.
Give me a moment while I look at the door.
Go ahead and roll investigation.
Though there may be reason to hold off on that.
14. There we go.
There's an unusual mechanism on the door. There's nowhere for you to stick a set of thieves' tools. There is a round, slightly domed recess where a normal lock would sit.
Can I kind of do like a intelligence roll to see if I've seen anything so far down here that's similar to that?
Roll me a history check.
Natural 20 for a 23.
23. You look at it and it looks vaguely like the shape of the amulet that you all found in the library that had the symbol of Tyr on it.
Hey, Sulong.
Yeah.
Do you still have that necklace amulet thing that you found in the library?
Yes, the one I was keeping as evidence and not as a souvenir for this time. Why?
I think that might be the key to the door.
There is a small swear under Sulong's breath as he walks over and begrudgingly gives Yuiza the amulet.
She'll take it, and she'll look to the group like,
I'm going to try to get like literally everybody.
We should probably go into the other room. So
I mean, honestly,
we will be right back.
It's fun.
Everyone's going out to the other room to have a chat. I'll move y'all.
Yeah. So out there, I'll say, while normal instinct agrees to free a trapped woman from a cell, her status as an avatar of this deity gives me pause for concern, as I am not familiar with said deity or what releasing an avatar would do. It seems that she is operating outside of her own knowledge, even.
Arat, can I speak with you one moment privately over here?
Sure, we can continue to subdivide.
Sorry, just a real quick question that's really private.
Okay.
Talking about man things like their muscles and oils.
I feel like this is not the right time for that.
I mean, if they want to talk about like muscles, like they should be taking me too, you know? Because like I brought the gun show.
I was about to say, pow pow, bang bang, you have brought the gun show into this tomb.
Oh, we need one muscly man to stay here with us, so
don't worry, I'll protect you.
That's definitely just what I said.
I'm really sorry about this. I don't know if it's culturally insensitive or if this is any. Do dreams taste the same to you?
No.
That's a shame. Maybe we could have asked her to describe a dream and you could have sampled it to see if it was funky.
No, I mean, they don't taste the same to me. So they have unique tastes to them, or flavors, or stimulants, however you might describe it.
But
so perhaps?
Yeah, could you tell if something was off about it?
It's not exactly a lie detector, but I might possibly get some grander idea of what is going on inside of her head. But again, she is currently awake and not asleep, and I don't know if she have many hopes and dreams and aspirations that describe being locked down here, aside from getting out.
Yeah, I think the biggest one right now would be getting out. All right. Well, thank you for answering that. Again, I'm sorry if it was a little insensitive. Just wanted to make sure.
Confusing, but not insensitive.
You see my thought process here, right?
I suppose.
No, but like, if you know, it would.
I understand. I understand.
Just walking out.
Anyway, back to the main point at hand. Again, I hesitate to release an avatar of a deity. Though if there's no other option, then...
Really, I think the girl would be safe within the wardens. Look, for some of the finest men, women, and other folks who perform great feats of strength, magic. If an avatar of a god who doesn't know what she is, she's safest with us. It's cruel to leave her here. I've seen too many sad faces and too many cages drained of their life. We can't.
I understand, but we'll also have to tell her what's going on. She's going to keep asking to go home. And who are we to deny her that?
Wouldn't it be kinder to tell her the truth? Rather than just let her be used as a key in whatever pawn.
No, of course. This, I do not want that. But maybe we should do Pascal and Nisma. Do y'all have contact with? I was trying to look up the character's name, but our boss.
Toby. Yeah, there's like a whole slew of sending stones in the office.
Did she like get them to come and explain the situation to him while we
like decide? Now? Like
it's an emergency.
No,
like,
sure. Like the avatar, the possible avatar Bathsheba could wait. It's fine. Bashaba. It's fine. We could wait.
Of course, it's a lobby problem.
Sorry,
Do you have
that
any
was very
experience?
insensitive of me.
Just to not drag on the hours into the morning. Do you all have any experience with anything close to this? Or Audibel, at the school you mentioned, is there anything possibly in line with any sort of scenario such as this?
Well, not. I mean, being an avatar is kind of a huge deal if that's what we're dealing with. It's kind of an unprecedented thing. They don't really make themselves known. Although there have been a few documented over the years. I think there was an avatar to who was it? I can't. Oh gosh. I'm pretty sure it was one of the harvest deities. I can't for the life of me remember. But they were pretty nice. They just, kind of got mad at a group of people who were burning crops, and they just kind of took out the wrath of nature on them and then just went back to normal. There was that documented case.
And what would one of Bashaba do?
One of Bashaba?
If left unchecked.
I'm not really sure.
Bad luck. Lots of bad luck. Is there any recorded account of these avatars losing their own faculties and just becoming like, meat puppet for the gods?
Well, I remember correctly the other one knew what they were, but their connection was sometimes described as foggy. So I don't know. I think some may know, some may not. It doesn't. It's not really my area of expertise. I know runes and old things.
She did act on her own accord without realizing that she was drawing in the sand.
Oh.
She's one of the 5 avatars of Bashaba, the stag.
There's 5?
Yeah, so there's a crown, there's a flame, there's a sword, there's something else. Is there 5 or 4? She asked herself, GM.
Let me.
I didn't write it down.
I did put the information in your player journal under books and pamphlets. It was the flame, the blade, the crown, and the stag. It's 4.
Oh, it's 4. That's my bad. The flame,
numbers
the
are
blade,
weird. They have the same sound.
Yeah. There's 4. She's one of the 4. She's the stag. The other ones are the flame, the blade, and the crown.
So. Okay, so. Well. Safety-wise, yes, it probably is better to keep her locked up. Ethically, if she does not know, though, then you are technically keeping a person who is innocent imprisoned in a
yes, but if she seemed to be
basement.
If she seemed to be acting without her knowing, and she opens the book and it says they were supposed to ascend the most loyal subjects to avatars of doom and chaos. Is it the loyal subjects? And she doesn't remember doing anything. I don't know if she's lying. So someone who doesn't have anything to know about Bashaba doesn't seem like a loyal subject to me, unless there was some sort of weird brain magic, but that would be counterintuitive to asking questions to know more about what they are. And I'm just ranting at this point, but I think I'm making some sense.
We have one of 2 options here. We can either keep her imprisoned until somebody that understands this can address the matter, or we can take her with us, hoping that we have the faculties and facilities to manage whatever might happen.
That kind of power, we need to keep an eye on it. It's the right of the wardens, isn't it, to protect people from forces such as this?
That is why I wanted Dinsmouth and Pascal to come down here. I do not know if the wardens are capable of handling this or not. I'm as new as the rest of you.
I mean, I don't just sit around doing paperwork all day, so...
I think your arms are clear indicator that you don't.
Hey! we can try our best and just, see what happens. I don't know. I don't do, I'm normally sent in to, hit things with...
Dude, same.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so how about we just mention it to Toby? Do you have a little sending stone to Toby?
Not on me.
Back at the office, which means another trip all the way back there and then messaging her all the way back here again.
Arabelle, do you have a sending stone to Toby?
I do not.
Cool. Okay, do you guys happen to have, like, I don't know, anti-magical, like, manacles or something like that?
That's a very specific ask.
It
I imagine
is?
so that we can keep her safe
also-
from whatever's happening.
Not that I carry on me all the time.
Unless it's a Thursday.
All the time. Thursday? What do you mean?
That's my own private business. Thank you very much.
That is your own private business.
I just meant, like, more, Pascal and Nismet, since, you're part of the Wardens. I don't know how, like, authoritative guard figures work about their arsenal that they carry with them. Is there, like, a care package? Like, we didn't really receive the care package, but,
No, normally we are just like, going in and fighting monsters, not taking them in for questioning and or like making friends with them. But I mean, we could procure Arabelle's and Nismat speaks up. I mean, we could do that, but then, I mean, she's still technically out there with us.
and, like, again, she could be lying, which I don't know. I wasn't really good at telling because she looks really, really sad. That's, like, going for her inside the cage. But it is said, like, most loyal servants, and I don't know if she's really is lying and had nothing to do with it, or is, like, the most loyal servant, and that's why she's lying.
The only thing I could think of if we wanted to be entirely safe is to tell her that we are going to get somebody that can get her out, which buys us time to get a more knowledgeable person here. But again,
Someone from the temple, probably, if it was dealing with the deities.
Possibly. That's the only thing I can think of, apart from simply opening the door.
Also, we do still have a murder on loose.
Right.
I think it's best to wait for the temple in this regard. We really cannot risk it.
We can tell her that either we can tell her that we have disposed of Zasafel and we are going to get somebody that can get her out, or we can leave that last part out and just say we're going to go push to get her out and get someone that can help her.
Right. So your plan is to tell a person that is locked up in the other room that you killed the person who had them locked up in the room and that you are safe to be trusted?
I mean, let's get something straight. We did not kill Zasafel.
Well, no, but I mean, it sounded like you were going to say that you dispatched him, and so I was just wondering, like, what the plan was.
I'm giving options. I have absolutely no idea what to do in this circumstance.
I did not have a training manual for this.
Perhaps telling her that her jailer is now dead might spark something that we have otherwise not seen, or we leave it out entirely. We just tell her that we have to go get someone that can help her. Either way, that's the only idea I have, short of simply opening the door.
I think we leave it out. Tell her that we're going for someone who can help her.
Probably a good idea. And Pascal gives you finger guns.
Also, while the murderer is still on the loose, everybody else is still upstairs with no guards. We didn't think about that one.
Nope, they have the door locked, same as last time.
Yeah, but what if one of them is still the murderer? There's so much going on. My small brain it's not small, but a lot of stuff has happened tonight.
If one of them is the murderer, then it is not connected to anything down here. Nobody reacted whatsoever to the existence of this place apart from confusion.
Okay, so you guys go get Toby and possibly a pair of anti-magic manacles.
Do you want me to research the amulet at all?
That would probably be good.
That would be good. Yeah, and she'll show her the amulet.
Mm-hmm. Arabelle will take it and start notating on it.
Yeah.
I can make a run for the temple.
Yeah, I think I should stay down here with them.
Alright, okay.
Pairs.
Somebody has to go upstairs and let the others know what we're doing, And
Well, listen, we'll take them back with us to town in the cart. House them up in the guild for the time being. Zach?
It'll be costly, but worth it.
Something
no-
like this.
Yeah, what we're dealing
needs more
with.
people. Yeah, something like this needs more people.
Nizmat raises a hand.
Yeah.
How about we just all tell her together and then we just all leave together?
there's also that. Again, if we lock the door behind her, she is safe from anything else down here, and she either trusts us or she doesn't.
All right.
We're also taking the only other key to her cell, so...
Exactly. I don't like not knowing what to do here, but I can think of nothing else.
All right. Sulong is going to head for the door.
Okay. You going back in?
Yeah.
All right. Lily startles a bit as you all walk in. Hi.
Hi, Lily.
Hi.
We'll be back. We need to go get a specialist to help us open this door. The magic is a little too strong for me right now.
But we want to help you get out of here. You do not know why you are here, and it's not fair to keep you here. We just simply need the proper people to be able to open it.
Okay. Who are they?
They're from the Wardens. They are people that help people. Same as us. And you are someone that needs help.
All right.
So, continue to wait here, and we will return with people that can help properly.
As you say this, I'll need everyone to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
21.
16.
That's a natural one, baby.
Guess what, bestie?
Oh my god.
You hear the small clink of an object roll across the floor to your feet. And you hear Arabelle say, "Stun." As you are all frozen in place,
And even with a 21?
even with the 21.
Wait, Arabelle?
You hear the soft steps and swish of a skirt. And as she comes into view, her image changes. The soft face is a little more angular. The eyes a little darker. The hair goes from its mousy brown to near black, tipped with green on the ends. Well, you all made this far more complicated than it needed to be. As she walks to the door and places the amulet into the lock. All right, dear. Time to go. Go have some fun. And as she says that, she turns on her heels, walking past you all. You watch as the woman in the cell, her expression changes as her eyes darken to an inky black. Her body twists and contorts. Her arms extend into long blades. She has not one head, but 3 now. And you hear, "Time for a bit of chaos," as she steps not past you, but through the wall to the side. As Arabelle, Nizmat, and Pascal go to leave the room, she leans into you, Yuiza, and says, "Don't worry, dear. I'll let your daddy know just how smart and bright his girl has grown up to be. And with that, they exit the room. And that is where we are going to go to break. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We will be back shortly, so don't go anywhere. Let's grab a drink, grab a friend, or get your dice out, because we're going to come back and roll initiative. We'll see you all
You did this
shortly.
on my birthday.
You're welcome. Everybody wave! So, the players have rolled initiative on our break just to speed things up a little bit. Sulong rolled a 22. Arat rolled a 15. Fisscourth rolled a 10, and Yuiza rolled a 9. Now, this magic washed over you, stunning you all. You are stuck here for a full minute as they get the advance on where they're heading to. What do you do as this magic finally releases you all, and you all come out of it, able to move once more? What's first for you all?
I need to make the good boy roll. It's an interesting situation. There is not even like the almost millisecond they almost get stunned. Sulong jerks forward and is on all fours running. So I will take my movement and an action to dash.
All right, what do you do?
I draw my last card that I can cast a spell with, and I'm pulling it from my reserved pile, and it is the Druid. Everybody else in the room is going to start hearing bone snapping.
Oh.
And twisting. Mm-hmm. And the stick is going to fall to the ground, and there is now a wolf in the middle of the room with very milky looking eyes. Like the blindness is still there.
Okay.
And I am going to use my now 40 foot of movement to speed after the exiting people.
May I scoop the quarterstaff as I run past?
Yeah, you can. What does Fisscourth do?
I'm taking wing. I'm going after these bitches cave style.
How far is your flight movement?
30 feet.
30 feet? Okay. Are you dashing as well? Because I think you can dash with that.
I will dash.
Okay.
What is that? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's totally cool. Did you have a question?
I was going to say, dash is same as your normal walking speed, so I'll take that instead of flight because that feels a little obnoxious.
We got Torpedo Bat on the way too. What's Yuiza doing?
Did you know that I can use my full movement, dash as a bonus action, and then dash as my full action?
Oh my gosh, it's almost like you're playing a rogue.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
There is definitely a stunned look to Yuiza, and that's not even having to do with the magic. And I'm gonna take my 90 feet of movement.
Sorry, my move speed is also 90 because of my wild march ability.
You all make it up to the second floor in record time, and you hear a commotion happening upstairs where you left everyone previously. Do you stop to check it out?
I mean, yeah, I would assume that's kind of where they went.
I'll wait until my turn, but with general, I'm used to using my other senses plus wolf. I am following scent of these people. So if they went in there, then I'm going in there. If they went out the front door, I'm going out the front door.
You don't catch their scent as you pass the closed doors. You smell the three of them going out. However, how well would you say that Arat would know Nismet and Pascal's scent?
We've been hanging out for however long since this game started, every other day, so I think I would know them pretty decently. Yeah, and unless Arabelle's scent changed as well, then I was living in her house.
Roll me, Arabelle's scent did not change. However, roll me let's do a perception check.
24.
Fantastic. As you're running, you realize that the people who were with Arabelle, although they look like your friends, they don't smell like them. There's something off. There's a smell of earthiness of dust, bit of decay that wasn't there previously. Does anyone else stop, or do you follow Arat?
I'm gonna echolocate. My nose is not too good. It's that funny little leaf shape, but I can sure scream.
Okay.
I would stop at the door just because I can't sniff out scents.
As you stop at the door, Fisscourth, your echolocate doesn't ping anyone within range in the hallway. However, there is an extra body in the room next door. And Yuiza, as you open up, you see that twisted being that you saw in the basement, in the middle of the room, lashing out as the folks in the room try to get away from it.
God, okay. Can I do something as I pass Arat?
What do you want to do?
I am going to give him one of my nails. I will not describe how it happens, but it is one of her nails.
Okay.
And with the instruction of, if you can't beat them, at least get this on them.
Sulong and Fisscourth, are you leaving or are you staying?
I think Sulong would have ran past the door, heard the scream, saw Yuiza going, and then saw the twisted being, gritted his teeth, stamped his foot on the ground, and just pivoted back to get into the room.
Same. The missile is heat-seeking, and the missile sees friendship here. The missile's heading into the room.
Okay.
If we're all in there, I kind of want to go with Arat.
Go.
Nah, it's fine. They're most likely going to outrun me anyway.
Yeah, but I have beef with them, personal beef.
Go fight the strange chaos monster. You already opened the door for everybody.
No, I'm going with you, baby.
Okay.
Sulong, you are up first. This thing, you're not entirely sure still what it is. It's bearing down on Ellison, moving closer. What do you do?
He, well, for one, uses a bonus action to dash and then interposes himself between Ellison and the monster. I think it's like a juke underneath the monster, and he turns upward to smack it on the chin with the quarterstaff.
All right, let's do it.
I nat 20 on the first roll. Is going to be a 11 points of bludgeoning damage, non-magical.
11. Fantastic. Okay. Up next, Hardwick is going to move in as well, and with his staff raised, he will shout, "Get away from Miss Ellison!" and cast Thunderwave.
Oh, Pika!
Do I need to make the check as well?
Nope, he is angling it so it does not hit you. It is pushing.
Oh, right. Thunderwave is the line.
And it does take the check, so it will just take, I think it takes half damage.
Half damage and is not
Yeah.
pushed.
So it is going to take half of 8. Hardwick tried.
That's all that mattered, really.
Up next is the Starving Spectre. It's going to use its multi-attack. It is going to make a blade arm attack against you, Sulong.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. For a natural 1, that will not hit. But however, as its arm swings down, this bloody blade extending towards you and missing, it is going to bite you.
I'm sorry, what?
As its second attack. Does a 19 hit you?
Only just.
Okay.
I need a shield.
Yeah, you're going to take 11 points piercing damage. And that will be its turn.
I'd
Up
like
next.
to warn everyone I'm out of rages.
Up next, Arat.
I'm booking it. I'm out the front door.
As you chase down the scent, it appears that the people who came did bring a cart, in fact, and there are distinct tracks in the muddy ground that you are able to follow. Are you still dashing?
Yeah, I think Yuiza and I have approximately the same speed if we use all of our movement and also dash.
Okay. You do not get close enough to hear the sound of whatever vehicle they are taking to get away from you, but you are able to tell they are moving towards town and likely at a rapid speed. Up next, Mari. Our sweet, sweet Mari is not equipped to fight. However, she will be picking up that potted plant next to her and throwing it over Hardwick's head at this creature. However, a 12 will not hit, and it will go wide past the creature, smashing into the wall behind it. That will be her turn. Up next, we have Fisscourth.
This thing just hit my boy Sulong. I'm gonna run up to her. Whoa, inflict wounds upon ye. Oh my god. That's a nat 1.
I love Fisscourth's combat rolls. All the exuberance doesn't hit.
Does she get advantage with flanking with too long?
The melee spell attack roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it only accounts to melee weapon attacks, not spell attacks.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for trying, though. So, my little claws are gonna miss with that terrible necrotic magic, but I'm just gonna start forming a little angry bat skull, sneering and growling in my claws.
Fantastic. All right. Up next, we have Yuiza. Yuiza, you and Arat are dashing. Is there anything other than dashing that you care to do on your turn?
Am I able to jump onto the cart?
You do not see the cart yet.
Oh, I do not see the cart
Nope,
yet.
there's only
Okay.
tracks in the mud.
Okay, I'm dashing. 90
Okay.
feet.
Roll me a perception check.
It's a 12 because I have +0.
The normally dim lights of the town during evening seem unusually bright the closer you get. Up next, we have Thomas, who will grab a bust off the mantelpiece and, like Mari, attempt to throw it at this creature. And with a 6, he too does not hit. It goes wide and it hits the piano, smashing the ivory keys in a very unpleasant way. Ellison behind you, Sulong, is not made for combat. From dress to what she is prepared for in life, this is not her bag, and she is going to move back as far as she can into the corner away from this thing. Brings us back to the top of the round with Sulong.
There is a growl to Thomas. Get Ellison and Mari out of here. And baseball bat? Yeah, just gonna start hitting the creature over and over again.
Okay.
My stick.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a power attack on this and a reckless.
Okay.
So advantage 15 to hit.
15 does hit.
14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't have any great bonus actions, sadly. Yeah, that's it.
Up next, we have Hardwick again. Still trying his best to help you.
If he's about to cast Thunder Wave, can Sulong yell to him, "Don't mind me"?
Sure. You want to take the hit?
I'll take the hit.
Okay.
Got a method to the madness.
All right. If you want to willingly fail that con check, you can. However, the creature is going to try and... the creature does pass its Constitution save with a dirty 20.
26.
Okay. You do pass the con save as well. So you will both be taking half of 11. So 5.
5, and then as a reaction, Sulong pops Absorb Element to bring that down to a 2.
Okay. Fantastic.
And the quarterstaff starts crackling with this thunderous energy.
I love it. Up next, we have the creature. And it does not like what Hardwick is doing. So its next attacks will be against Hardwick.
Not the old man.
First up, it's going to make a blade arm attack, which hits him with an 18. Hardwick will take 8 points of damage. It also uses its second attack and its multi-attack. Another 18 to hit. This time, Hardwick is taking 13 points of damage. The old man does not look good. But he's still up. Come on, my boy. Put your back into it. We protect the people of this house, he says, looking at you. Sulong.
Yes, sir.
Up next, Arat. You can hear town as you close in, and you hear the creaking of wheels. Roll me a perception check as you near town.
I forgot I get advantage as a wolf doing that.
Fantastic.
23.
There's no mistaking it now. As you come out of the forest and you near the warden's building, you smell the distinct smell of wood on fire, and you feel the heat coming from the building.
Am I still nowhere near the cart?
You can hear it up ahead. It's probably 40 feet. But you won't be able to reach down this turn, but you have reached down.
Okay. I can't do anything about that as a wolf. The person running with me is more apt to do anything, if at all, but we're both chasing down this cart. So I'm gonna continue my zoomies and missile at the cart.
Okay. Fantastic. Mari is going to start moving away towards the door, trying to get out of everyone's way. There's really nothing left for her to throw. Up next, back to Fisscourth.
Oh boy. Alright, roll the 19 on that spiritual weapon. Hopefully, I roll as well this time. Ooh, that's an 11.
An 11 to hit? That does not hit.
No, 11 damage.
Oh, 11 damage. Okay. 11 damage.
Oh, yeah, because I rolled an 18 to hit. Ugh.
Okay, great. Sorry, I didn't hear that 18 to hit.
Did she oobleck her body? Oh my god. My little heart would have broken into a million pieces.
You definitely hit, and the Starving Spectre is not looking good. Up next, Yuiza. As you and Arat are rounding town, you see the warden's building is currently on fire. And you can see just past it, the cart has rounded the corner and is heading towards the road.
She's following that cart.
Okay. Like Arat, you won't reach it this round, but you are closer and you are within sight of it. Up next, we have Thomas, who, following your orders, is going to head for Ellison to get her out of the room. And Ellison and Thomas will make their way towards the dining room, towards that other exit. Too long, we're back at the top.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, quarterstaff, just bopping them.
Just bop it.
Just bop it. Reckless power attack, same as last time.
Okay, let's do it.
23 to hit.
23 does hit.
All right, here we go. So for bludgeoning damage, 18 points of bludgeoning damage. And the absorb element goes off, so they'll be taking an additional 6 points of thunder damage.
As you deal out that additional 6 points of damage, what's it look like when you take out the Starving Spectre?
The Starving Spectre is going for another bite on Hardwick, and Fisscourth sees Sulong just raise above behind it. His eyes are glowing this menacing yellow, and his voice comes out a little bit more guttural than usual. He says, "Where the hell do you think you're looking?" And then hits it just right across the back of the skull. Hardwick is just standing there agape, and then there's the blood splatter across his face.
You do that, and as you hit it, the creature crumbles and falls away. The blade arms retract, and there are hands once more. And as they fall to the ground, once more it is the body of Lily on the ground, almost looking peacefully asleep. It appears that in death, she was able to return to who she was.
There is a clatter from the quarterstaff as it hits the ground, and Fisscourth just sees Sulong standing there, looking down at the body, shaking. It looks like he's about to be sick.
Oh, heavens, and Fisscourth comes over. God, I am out of spell slots. This is such a terrible time to be out of spell slots. All she can do is just offer the warmth of divinity and just touching him with Spare the Dying.
Can you spare the dying if the dying is on the inside?
I'm afraid God doesn't heal that particular wound.
He is silent throughout.
Sulong, we have to get going. They were running outside. We need to make sure that Yuiza and Arat are okay. Sulong, stay with me. Look at me. It tricked us. Whatever it was, it tricked Lily, and there was nothing we could do for her. You saved these people, but there are so many more who need our help. Be here with me, Sulong. Please.
There is the eyes close on Sulong as the hyperventilation of breathing slows down as he's repeating a mantra to himself in Draconic. You're right. We'll clean this up later, I guess.
There will always be later. I promise you that. There will be, so long as we keep going. Just stay with me, all right? And Fist takes her claw in his hand and just begins to lead him out the door.
He'll scoop the quarterstaff up. Harwick, do you still have that carriage ready for the lady?
Yes.
Where was it headed?
Well, the GM doesn't remember it, so we're just gonna roll with it. But Hardwick will nod. Yes, I can have it ready momentarily.
Let's just, because you don't remember, we'll just say that he gives Sulong the destination, and Sulong tells him to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where do you want him to take Mari?
To whatever safe haven they were supposed to go to.
Okay. Can definitely do that. I take it that you are going to be heading towards town as well?
We are running, we are sprinting, flying, doing whatever we can to get there as fast as possible.
Okay.
I will cast Longstrider on myself if I need to.
Let me get everyone.
Dragging poor Fist along. Like, please, I only have little legs.
You can hop on my backpack.
Backpack!
Then your movement's half, though.
I'm pretty strong.
I could use my wings like a sail.
Theater of the Mind over to Yuiza and Arat. As you both round the corner, finally making it into town, you realize that this isn't just a getaway. This is a coordinated attack. Yuiza, as you pass by the building that is currently on fire, you narrate to Arat that they have jumped out of the wagon and have been casting magic. There are creatures spawning on rooftops in front of the person that looks like Nismat. She casts magic using an amulet in front of her, and suddenly there is a creature coming up out of a dark pool. It looks like an elf, but it has mouths crawling up the sides of its arms. Its hair is bedraggled. It is not it looks regal in absolutely no way. It looks like a creature of elven nightmare. And you watch as she casts this, whatever she was concentrating on must drop. As the image of Nismat drops, and you see a tan-skinned elf with short dark hair, wearing a flower crown and pink and black armor, holding on to Nismat's battle axe. On the other side, you see the visage of Pascal drop away and revealing someone you recognize. The white-haired half-elf with the facial tattoo. You asked for directions in the carnival, decked out in the armor of a paladin, summoning something, also armored, dripping in shadow, and behind them, smiling. You see the woman who got the jump on you all, taking her time as she casts magic. And what comes forth from the portal that she opens is unlike any creature you have seen or heard of. It has a long serpentine body, feathers that turn into fur, wings that appear to be too small to hold it up, but it slides through the air with ease. And as it opens its mouth to caw to her, there is no tongue within its beak, but a mass of tentacles that spill out and greet her hand. What did the two of you do?
So previously you said that we were about 40 feet from them. Does that mean that I'd be able to reach them easily on this turn if I don't get hit by these things?
You can certainly try.
Yeah, I'm still beelining for our fake Arabelle. But yeah, I'm beelining for her, and because I can't actually see anything to be afraid of it. I just know that there's a lot more stuff, so I'm just trying to dodge things if they are going to come for me, and I'm aiming straight at her.
Okay. Let me go ahead and throw everybody into the combat tracker. Yuiza, you will go next. What do you do?
I'm using my bonus action to dash. So that would be a total of 60. I believe I can throw a regular dagger. It'd be a disadvantage, but because it's more than 20 feet. But
where are you targeting?
Flower crown.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume an 8 doesn't hit, but
an 8 does not hit.
If I can flavor the fail.
Go ahead.
I think Yuiza's running. There is very few thoughts in her head other than this bloodthirsty need to hunt down this Arabelle wannabe or truly Arabelle. I don't know. And the people that tricked her, especially after what they announced. And you see the claws in her hand coming out, but they're coming in like this more branch-like manner. She throws this dagger, not necessarily even to hit, but as a message to this person, just passes them.
You can definitely do that. Did you have any bonus actions or anything on your turn?
I dashed as a bonus action.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Up next, we have our first little critter on the roof. And these things, they look like if you had a tiny ape covered in amphibian skin with little fins coming down their hands. They're essentially gremlins. Essentially, someone has fed these things after midnight. And this little guy from up above is going to actually pull a shingle off the roof, Arat, and he's going to attempt to throw it at you. Does an 11 hit you?
No.
No? All right. And standing behind, proud of their handiwork, you hear the woman. Coming after me now, are you? Well, can't wait to see what you do. I won't be around to watch it, though. I'll check in on you later, though. And she is going to cast Command. Can I get a Wisdom saving throw from you?
24.
24. Okay, you save. You feel magic wash over you as she attempts to tell you to grovel.
I'm so sick of people telling me to grovel today.
I'll bet. Let's see here. And that is all she will do for this turn. As she calmly turns and begins walking back. Up next, you hear the rustle of metal off to the side as the paladin comes to play. And they slash out at you with the dagger. Does the 21 hit?
Yes.
Okay. You'll be taking 7 points piercing damage.
Okay.
You're immune to poison, right?
I am resistant.
Resistant. Okay, I will also need a Constitution saving throw.
17.
They rolled a 2, so take half of that.
Okay.
Up next, this little critter up on the roof, Yuiza behind you, is going to cast... Let's see. I believe they have some spells. Let's see what they have. They are going to cast Grease. centering it on you-ish. I can kind of draw a square. I will need a dexterity saving throw.
It's an 11.
An 11. That does not save. You will be falling prone in this grease. And that brings me to the Oathrot Knight. And they are just going to begin moving towards you. That will be their turn. Arat, you are up.
Yep, I'm still gunning for our fake Arabelle.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can reach her at this point.
You can.
So I'm going to dive and make a bite attack at her.
Okay.
Does a 21 hit?
It does hit.
All right. So she's going to feel a wolf just suddenly come up on top of her as I roll 9 piercing, and then she has to make a strength saving throw.
That is a 14.
Does wild shape saving throw, does that use the animal saving throw, or does it use my spell saving throw?
It would use the animal.
Okay, so then she succeeds on that one. So she doesn't like get knocked over, but calmly walking away, turning around, and suddenly there's a wolf on her back, teeth sinking into her shoulder.
Okay. Yeah, with wild shape, you keep your mental stats, but you use the physical stats of the animal.
Okay, cool.
Played a druid for 2 years, and that's all I remember.
Fantastic. So yeah, a big gray wolf is suddenly on this lady's back.
Okay. Up next is one of the little critters on the roof, and Yuiza, out of the corner of your eye, you watch as it surveys what's going on, and it just sinks into the roof of the tailor shop. Following suit, there's one on top of Morthron and Isla's house. And it attempts to do the same thing as well. However, as it attempts to sink into their house, there is suddenly a brilliant flash of red light tinged with black around the edges. And it is shot off and sizzling near your feet, dead.
Yeah, Asmodeus came through.
And as you look at the house, you see it is now bathed in a bright red light. Up next is the Luck Leech. This one will begin moving towards you, Arat. Right, and it is just going to move in. And you watch as this elven creature with mouths lining its arms slowly begins moving its way towards Arat. The woman in the pink and black armor with the flower crown giggles and dashes back. Fisscourth. It's about this time that you and Su Long are finally close enough to hear the sounds of combat. You smell the burning of wood. You can see that there is now a sizable fire going up the side of the warden's building. You hear chittering of creatures, the roaring caw of something quite large. What do you do?
I'm so glad we need to get that flame out first things. Out of character question, does Sulong have create or destroy water?
No.
Damn it. I was gonna lift you up fire style. We could put it out from the...
I do have produce flame.
I think that's gonna make the fire worse, bestie.
No. Listen. If you start 2 fires in a controlled blaze, they eat up the oxygen in the area and kill themselves.
Are you saying we caused the fire to commit suicide? I like this.
No. Well, not like that, but I don't. Let's not do that. Let me just drink a lot of water and...
Okay, is there how far away from the well? If there's
a fountain in the middle of town.
There's a fountain in the middle of town. There's also the small lake that you are near where the bathhouse is that you would be close to.
Let's get water from there instead. Sulong, we need to get that fire out. I can go into the air, but I need the water. Get as much water as those big muscular arms of yours can carry.
Can Sulong see the giant monster in the middle of town from where he is?
You can see that there is something large between the buildings. You don't get a clear look at it, though.
Are you sure you want me to get water, or should we take care of that thing first?
You're right. The flame will die, eat itself. I've heard that wisdom from someone. I won't say who, but let's deal with the beast. You're right.
What are you doing, Fiss?
I am gonna hopefully run as quickly as I'm gonna fly. I can fly. How far can I go? I can reach that tree. I'm gonna flutter over into that tree, which I presume, is that behind the burning building?
It is behind the burning building, and you see on a part of the roof that is not being burned a small, odd creature cackling, laughing, pointing down.
I don't like small, odd creatures other than myself. How far? Let me see how far he is. He's 40 feet. Okay. How far is... Oh, it's this creature's unfortunate day. Toll the dead.
Okay.
He's gonna need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh gosh, I don't think these things are very wise. That is a 12.
He does not pass, just barely. And is he already damaged, or is he a healthy little man?
He has no damage.
All right, he just takes 1d8 then.
All right.
But hey, he takes 4 damage.
It's something. You
something.
definitely get its attention.
I'm just out here whispering that shit in the trees. He's just like, they're in the trees.
Up next, Yuiza. Unfortunately, Streamview doesn't seem to be able to track anyone. It doesn't know where the tokens are. Sorry about that, chat. Oh, it wasn't even showing. Never mind. You don't know anything was wrong. Forget I said anything. Yuiza, you are currently prone in Greece.
Takes half my movement to get up, right?
It does.
I am going to move at least half my movement to get up, so that's 15, and I'm going to try to move. Yeah, I'll do my bonus to dash and my full action.
As you start your turn, within 30 feet, I need you to make a DC 13 Charisma saving throw.
Okay. That's a 12.
That does not save. As you get up to move past this creature, what's an important oath or promise Yuiza has made in her life?
I'll find you.
You hear those words echo in your mind momentarily, that promise you made. And suddenly, it's the least important thing in your life as you lose your resolve to complete that promise.
Do I stay where I am?
No,
then?
you'll still be able to run. You are considered cursed. You will have disadvantage on Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration. And you can't add your proficiency bonus to ability checks or saving throws until the curse is lifted.
I think she makes it. That's about 60 feet. Her run comes to a slow stop there as the rage in her eyes just starts to recede, and there's a look of confusion in her eyes as she doesn't understand why she's putting so much effort at the moment.
Okay. Up next, the creature that came out of the portal, the Snallygaster. Cute name, nasty little critter. All right, it just saw you take a bite out of its master.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to come for you.
Okay.
Was the 22 hit?
Yes.
Okay. That will be 27 bludgeoning damage.
Cool. I fall out of wild shape. There's now a large man on this woman's back instead.
You are no longer on her back. It has you grappled. Until your grapple ends, you are considered restrained. And you will take 1d8 acid damage at the start of each of your turns, as the Snallygaster has used its slimy tentacles on you. Up next, you see walking out of the Wand's Want Galwin, as he approaches the woman who has been taunting you all. Everything's taken care of. We should get going. Nothing's left. All right. Let's get out of here. Shall we? Up next, Sulong.
Bonus action, dash. Actually, I'll do movement first, so 30 feet. 25. Bonus action, dash. Another 30 feet. Actually, can I see that gremlin on the roof there? To the southeast.
You would have to be up as high in the tree as Fisscourth is. It is a 2-story building, and they are on the opposite side of an A-frame roof.
Okay, because I just thought of a good idea, and that is to cast Jump on myself to triple my jump distance, and then just hop over the building.
Could do that.
Yeah. So action, cast Jump on myself, jump over the building.
Okay.
And I think I'd like to land... If I sit in the air, I'd like to just try a plunging attack, but I don't have enough actions. Yeah, I'll land on the other side. Yeah.
You land on the other side, and you are in the middle of a larger battle than you realized. You smell the burning of the building behind you. You see these creatures up on rooftops cackling with glee at what is happening down below. There is an armored person in front of you, smoke and rags billowing from beneath them, their armor. You see the white-haired half-elf with the face tattoo. You passed him. Didn't get a good look, but vaguely remember him being at the fair. There's no sign of Nismat or Pascal as you enter the battlefield.
I do clock, though, that the Flower Crown has Nismat's axe.
Yeah, you can probably see that.
Cool. There is only one circle on the battlefield that intrigues me right now.
Up next, one of our little buddies up top, cackling and watching, turns his attention to the rooftop and moves up and then sinks down into the roof of the blacksmith shop, out of sight. That brings us to the woman with the dark hair, who looks like Arabelle, but not quite. She sighs. Enjoy your snack, my pet. Pity I had to summon you to eat that. And she steps back. Bulin, let's get going. We have a dinner to get to. And she holds her action. As the paladin, who Arat you hear is named Vulin, runs past you, dashing to meet up with the person who called him. You feel the unmistakable sound of magic as this woman uses her held action to cast teleport. And with a final, enjoy your night, they all four are gone.
Arat looks absolutely feral. it held in this thing's grip is unlike you have seen him before.
And as we pause here, because we are nearing the end of time, there is one more thing that happens as you all stand defending your new home. Doors begin opening. You hear the sound of a crowd coming down the street. As fire continues to consume the building, Arat, you hear the arcane energy rumble in the air. And Sulong and Yuiza, you look back towards the warden's house and you see portals begin to open. And through them steps Toby, riding Pershing. Farah and Nismat run through weapons drawn in robes as regal as any queen could wear. And from behind you, Fisscourth, you hear the flapping of large leather wings as a giant, ancient dragon settles down next to you, pink in color, and you hear,
"Come on, little man. We're taking to the skies."
and that's where we're going to leave off tonight.
My dad?
Is your dad a dragon?
This sounds mom?
No, not Nisbet's mom.
Oh, God.
Over a sending stone in Sulong's ear, he just hears, "On your left" from Nismat, and then like these portals open up around him to the dun, 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 dun.
You do not see Nismat or Pascal amongst the wardens who have come to your aid.
I thought you said Nismat.
No, Toby and the rest of them, but Nismat and Pascal aren't there.
I'm cursed.
Yeah, you are.
We know, hun.
But it gives us a lot to talk about in the after show. Thank you everyone so much for joining us tonight. We are going to go around and say our goodbyes. Thank you for joining us for this combat heavy game tonight. Hopefully our maps will be working properly next week and we can show you all what exactly these folks are fighting against. Thank you everyone for joining us for tonight's episode of Luck and Chaos. Don't forget to leave a review on your favorite podcast platform of choice. It really helps our show grow. Arat was played by Zachary Vaudo. Yuiza was played by Alessa Vamp. Fisscourth was played by Abby. Sulong was played by RJ. And your GM and producer tonight was Sara Roberts. The Luck and Chaos theme, A Twist of Fate, was composed by Sneakernet. Download it now on Bandcamp. Link in the show notes below. Check out our show notes for cast info and links to the third-party content featured in this game. If you'd like to join us for our Patreon-only after show, visit us on patreon.com/thehypegoblin. This show and others like it are made possible by the generous support from our patrons.